So just a quick shout out to Buub. Thank you for making this possible. This right here is a customized, designed beer pong table done by Buub themselves. The one side right here signed off by Rassie himself, the legend. The other side right next to signed off by Aimee Kitshoff. So let me get you a bit of distance there. You can sign off.
There we go.
Hey, do you want a date or anything else?
Yeah, I just wrote my.
There we go. Sweet. Thank you, Buub. This table will be up for the competition giveaway. So enter into that. All the details will be put below to stand a chance to win a signed off beer pong table with Rassie and Aimee Kitshoff's signature. Stephen, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Lekker. Thanks, guys.
What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Storytime. Thank you so much for tuning in today. We're here today with two guests. This will be the first episode we've ever done that is with a couple. Two of the most special people in my life and Jess's lives. I'm so grateful to have them here. They were here representing Bomb Squad. We have Stephen and Aimee Kitshoff for the first time together in studio, guys. Thank you so much for being here. This is awesome. We've wanted to do this episode for a really long time. And now we have you on the couch too.
Finally. Like, I've been stressing so much to do this.
Yeah, thank you for doing it. I know, as I was saying earlier, having a dude on the shows was just like, how's it there? You know, put the lights wherever and just have the person talk. When we have a lady on the couch, it's different.
Extra.
Yes, I'm trying to be a little bit more formal now, you know?
Thank you so much. I prefer that style still a little bit more, but here we are.
You have, obviously as much as Stephen has had an image with rugby in his career and whatever, you guys have built a brand and image together so successfully that you can't say Stephen without saying Aimee. At least amongst Cape Town, it's impossible. At the stadium, at restaurants, bars, you guys are the couple. So congrats and hats off for that.
Yeah, and saying that, she's been there for most of my career, so it's been a pillar and a rock. So she's been incredible, and people tend to make memes and stuff of her, but she is in the spotlight.
That was a recent one. Yeah.
There's a recent one.
But she's just as much in the spotlight as the rugby players are because of her influence on my life in particular. But she's been absolutely amazing.
You guys have been together since high school.
Just after.
First, yeah.
Yeah, you were first, yeah. I'm a little bit older, so.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Just by a few months.
Just a few months.
There we go. So I wanted to, there's two angles to the chat that I really wanted to go into. Obviously, we will be chatting on Bomb Squad, on the beer pong event we have coming up with Buub as well, hence Buub everywhere. Thank you to Buub, you guys are amazing. But I wanted to go into two avenues, and the one being how you guys met and how the power couple came to be, but then also how we met. Because I think that story is hilarious and we've never spoken about it on the show before. Yeah. Our very, very, very hungover fitness recordings that then turned into a friendship.
Yeah.
So let's first get into how you guys met.
No, you go for it. I want to hear your version of this.
It was literally 2011 we met. And it was during Porter's Grey Interschool, so it was that week leading up to it. So we went for drinks, joined a bunch of rugby guys for drinks, and just sitting at the bar, and then she and your cousin came, or a friend of yours.
Friend of mine, yeah.
Yeah, just walked into the pub, but they knew some of the rugby players, and so how I know the story is she turned to Quinn and looked at me and she's like, who's that guy? I would love to meet him.
I did. I was like, who's that?
That one.
Yeah. That ginger guy playing pointies in the corner, a little bit squint-eyed, whatever, from all the beers.
There we go.
And then later that evening, we saw each other again. I couldn't remember her name at all. It was a bit embarrassing from my side, but got each other's numbers and started chatting online from there.
Okay. Actually, no, that's your version of it. Well, no, we kept running into each other in Stellies. My cousin studied at Stellies, so I was in Stellies quite a bit, visiting her during those days, and we just kept running into each other. And then one night we exchanged BBM pins, I think after 4 or 5 times running into each other.
This was BBM days.
BBM days.
Wow, okay.
That's 2011, back then. And then you finally, after months, a couple of months, we didn't never talk to each other. We had each other's BBM pins, but we never actually chatted. And then you sent me a message, and you were like, "Come through to Stellenbosch. We're having a couple of friends down. We want to have a little watch the rugby, have a jol." And I was like, "I can't make it. I've got plans to go to," back then it was called the Rittelfees, Namakwa Fees, up in Vredendal. Rittelfees.
Sounds like my kind of jol.
Big thing back in the day, so lekker, like massive artists performing and all those kinds of things. And I went with them, drove up that weekend. And when I got to Rittelfees in Vredendal, lo and behold, get out, there's a giant ginger standing in front of Rittelfees in Vredendal.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's I remember that because I was still currently like battling with the injury back then, and one of my mates, Gideon, I told him like, "Listen, like, do you have any plans for the weekend? Like, let's go up to Rilfias. We take my mom's car. We just shoot across. We'll sort out accommodation and all those things.
Those are the best weekends. Yeah,
we'll sort all those things out." But he didn't know I was going after a girl, so
The poor guy drove from George to Stellies to come and visit Stephen.
So far.
And then Stephen put him in another car and drove another 4 hours up to Vredendal.
But it was the best weekend.
Commitment.
Yeah,
Oh, there
it
we
was
go.
the best weekend. So
At least you can promise that we will have a good weekend.
Yeah.
Whenever we tell the story of how we met, obviously through friends and whatever, and we didn't do the BBM route. We had Instagram, which is obviously more recent. And Jess posted a story in this like white flowy top at a house party. It was a house party in Cape Town. And I slid into the DM and what I said, like, "Oh, causing trouble," or something. Thinking I was the shit. And
So
Jess
smooth.
was just like, "Okay, like, what is that supposed to mean?" And that's when we got chatting. And then, we went to our first date. Yeah, jeez, like, I was reeling to try and get that date right, but clearly did. Thank the Lord.
but you did well.
You did very well.
Yeah. I've never been, I don't know if you were ever, maybe you'll answer better than he will because you'll answer honestly. I've never been like smooth in any way.
No, never.
You know, like you think of like Callum
Yeah.
is sharp.
100%.
With everyone. You put anyone in the room with Callum and he gets along. It's like I've never been, "Hey, I'm Josh." It's so awkward to me to do that. Like,
But I'm like that with everyone. Like,
Yeah, you've gotten so back. I wish you could have met Kitsy in 2011. Kitsy, the shyest human on the planet. He could not talk to anybody. He could text a little bit. And only when he had beers in could he talk to me. At that stage, he could not speak to me. So that's why he got there before the Rittelfees. By the time I got there, I saw a stack of cups. The beers were going so he could chat. The next day when we ran into each other again, and he could not talk to me physically before. He drove to Spur, had a jug of beer, and then his chat started again.
I've done that before going out as well. Yeah.
So shy. The shy as you can ask everybody back in the day, kids, he could not talk to people.
It's now the quality of yours that I think people love so much is the gentle, it's in complete comparison to what you do as a career, like on the field, not so gentle, but like in person you have that. You're very warm and welcoming. Like I sent you guys a message yesterday just thanking you for Saturday and whatever, but I said to Jess, usually in that sort of environment, I really struggle with it. I get really fucking anxious in that kind of setting. And it also is the kind of setting that it's a lot of money and everyone's dressing a certain, it's that kind of environment.
Yeah.
And so I get really uncomfortable because I'm not about that kind of thing. But you guys create such a comfortable, welcoming space that not once throughout the night was I like, what am I thinking? What am I doing? Who's that? I wasn't anxious at all. And it's because that's what you guys know how to do, how to put that person next to that person to talk there. And you guys are really good at creating community. So thank you for that, not to rant too long. And,
it makes me,
compliment,
we hope to bring lucky people together. That's all we try and do.
I think it's probably an important thing in our lives as well is to surround ourselves with the right people, because I think especially in the career that I've chosen and the way that we operate, like you can easily get sucked into those bubbles where it's not the right people for you. But I think we've made like a couple of years ago a very big conscious decision to surround ourselves with the right people, people we enjoy, people we feel we can walk a path with.
Be kind.
Be kind and not get embarrassed by certain scenarios. So it's important for us to hang around with the right people and also like if we introduce someone to the crew, we're not gonna go, shit, we're nervous, this guy's not gonna enjoy them, or they're gonna either embarrass us or make it tough on us.
Exactly. And then you've got to be the ones to be like, hey, no,
I'm sorry,
he's a good guy. He just drank too much tonight. You know, one of those. Yeah. You guys have, I mean, obviously throughout your entire career, also having been there together, I find that element like fascinating to what you guys have built. So not only are you guys in restaurants and obviously bomb squad and so heavily involved with events and like the boxing event that happened on Saturday. Shout out to Matt, that was phenomenal. DHL, you guys are so heavily involved there as well. So you're literally building, the way I like to look at it, it's like this little empire of just like the Kitshoffs are really just taking over. How do you guys handle so many years being together with there being press and comments online and, you know, like people trying to have opinion and take into what you guys are building as a relationship?
Yeah. I think I go back to, they don't know me. You don't know me personally. Because I am married to him, you're obviously going to have your opinion about me. And I think I'm a strong personality. I've got a very strong personality and I'm the loud one. And I think I've taught this one over the years that it's okay to be loud and raise your voice and stuff like that. And people are going to do with it what they want. They're either going to hate you. If they want to hate you, they're going to hate you. If they will love you, they're going to love you. People are going to make up their minds for themselves about you and you can't change that. So, and we've been around incredible big personalities and in the industry where he just started, we were surrounded by the likes of Skalkberger, John de Villiers, Brian Abana. The list goes on about when we were 21 years old, you were 19.
It's young, eh? Yeah.
To be around those big personalities and watch them grow. We were so inspired by all of them and we watched them grow and see how they handled everything. And I think that was our big inspiration back then. We would sit and we would go, look how this one is doing it. We've identified those players when we were very young. We sat down one day and we were like, who do we want to be like? Wow. And we want to be categorized with the Michelle Berger and Skalkbergers and the Janine Abana and Brian Abana. And those are very strong couples that lean onto each other and did everything together. And I think we stuck to that very well and following in their footsteps. So I think luckily having those giants go before us, part of the way for us to follow. Yeah. So I think that was the main thing about how we decided to do it together.
To develop this kind of like safe space.
Yeah.
I mean, you even look at like JJ and Nina.
Yes.
You know, Nina's a champion human and I adore JJ, and you put the two of them together and I'm like, shit, this works so perfectly, you know, like
100%.
Everyone's mixing and matching so nicely together. I wanted to take that into your take on the 2 World Cups, to briefly touch into rugby, because we don't have to do this rugby chat today. But each World Cup, I imagine, was such a completely different experience with
100%.
Different stresses, different locations. And I know as much as all the mana have to come together to play, all the wives are keeping shit together. Literally, with all the traveling and the accommodations and the places and the after parties and everything that goes on. What was your experience like of each of the 2 World Cups? Like, what was your takeaway?
So these two were obviously extremely different.
Yes.
We were much younger at the 2019 World Cup, all of the girls as well, and we were quite a young squad back then. So I'll say that was the fiery World Cup.
Fun one.
Yeah, and the fun one for me. I've never been to Japan before getting there, and I did not know Japan was such a jewel. Like, you could buy a 9% cider drink on the side of a road from a vending machine, and I feel like the people in Japan party so hard and people don't know it. Like, it was the biggest jewel ever. Like, I just remember us drinking highballs, Never drank whiskey before my life. Whiskey, Japanese whiskey and ginger ale was our go-to drinks. The beer in Japan was amazing. The environment. We went to some of the top 100 clubs in the world.
And shout out to Hooters because that's where they spend most of their Fridays.
There was, in Shinjuku, just below our hotel, there was the best Hooters I've ever been to. And we lived in the Hooters. Like me.
All the women rocking up at Hooters being like, we support this.
100%.
Eyeball and beers all around.
Chicken wings and chicken wings. We lived in that
Complimenting
Hooters.
your waitress, complimenting all the bar staff. I like that. That's cool. Yeah.
And it was a total party that I just remember 2019 being and there's so many stories that I would like.
I could tell you a quick one just between the Friday night of the semi-final and the Friday night of the final. So during the day, Aimee and Monet, Faf's wife, they started going on the wine and the highballs, and they're enjoying each other's time. And Aimee phones me, goes, "Listen here, babe, I'm just gonna go grab a drink with Monet. We're going out for a couple of drinks. We'll be back later, so don't have to wait up for me. I'll be quiet. Come into the room."
A drink.
A drink.
Yeah.
I go to bed. I switch off all the lights. So I'm thinking Aimee's like probably going to be the next half an hour, but I eventually fall asleep. I think 3 o'clock, 3:30 that morning, Aimee comes into the room like a bull in a china shop. I'm like, Aimee, it's like I'm playing a semi-final tomorrow. She goes, sorry. Can I quickly tell you about my night? I'm like, no, get in bed and relax. Sleep, you're going to feel the worst tomorrow. Anyway, Saturday morning, she wakes up, she goes, like, what a night. Like, tells me this whole story. So we go play the game, get back. They all carry on partying. And then the Friday of the final, I go, "Listen, you going out?" She goes, yeah, me and Monet are going out again. I go, okay, cool. I'm going to leave your pajamas in the bathroom. I'm going to leave the light on for you.
I got home, my makeup removers were in pajamas, so in the bathroom. I
What
could
a
just
husband right there.
sneak into the room.
I better make a peep the next time. So
Monet and I created the philosophy of like, this is how we're winning the World Cup, is by me and her representing and building the energy the night before.
There we go. So
And
they can
we,
wake up to that.
you know, hey?
Because
We did that. That's how we won the World Cup. It's because Monet and I set the trend. We were winning the night before already.
See,
So they had to win the next.
this is the stuff that people don't know about, where the win really starts. Yeah.
I just remember the two of us, and the rest of the girls actually after the World Cup came to us and they were like, you know what, it just looked like you two had the best time ever. And we spoke about it again this weekend. We, the two of us, had the biggest joy of my life in Japan 2019. That month there that we had in Japan was
Great time.
mind-blowing. And that will forever be my favorite World Cup.
Really?
100%, by far.
Oh, so the first
The first
win,
win.
so everything
Yeah,
is
bigger.
brand new.
Better, more insane experience. I think when you have to go and defend it, it was way more stressful. I have never stressed in my life the way I stressed that month, this time last year in France.
We saw you about a month and a half after the World Cup, maybe 2. And I remember asking you then at Boma, love Boma,
Love Boma.
love Boma, at Boma, saying like, how's it been? And you were just like, so grateful that it went the way it went, obviously, but that it was so stressful to be dealing with the idea of defending as opposed to just coming and take
in.
the first. What was going into the second World Cup, yes, having to defend, was there anything about it that you could feel was different?
So it was just a complete different experience. Stephen and I lived in France for 2 years, from 2015 to 2017. So I can understand a bit of French. I've got friends living there. So going to France to me was the ultimate. I was there from the first week. I said I was going to do this whole World Cup. I love France. I'm obsessed with France. So I was there from the start. Going in there, knowing the country very well, got a car, driving around, and it wasn't something new to me. So that was different already. It's like a little, I go every year almost, so I love it there. So in that sense, it was so interesting going back to what I feel is like my second home. So second home country, like we love it there. Going into that environment was already interesting. And then the girls have grown up so much and the kids have multiplied. So it was a complete different experience. 4 of my best friends, or 4 of the girls were pregnant. Two or 3 of
Jeez,
them
like-
with some of my best friends were going impregnant. Some of them then already just had babies. So it was a complete different environment to go into. There almost being more babies than wives at this one.
Wow, that's a good point.
So it changed the entire dynamic to a very much a family more dynamic at this World Cup, which was, I think, carried us through the whole thing. Did I still have a party? 100%.
Of course.
But it wasn't as big as the Japan one. We were way more relaxed and had quite a bit of French wine, but still way more relaxed one in that sense. Not as big as a party as the first one was for me, but way more stressful.
Yeah.
Like tenfold.
Yeah.
Can't compare the two about the stress levels.
Yeah. Obviously, you don't step into a World Cup going like, we're going to win, it's ours. You know, like the Irish were like, we'll see you in the final. Like, that's a dumbass thing to say, right? I'm allowed to say it. And when throughout playing, could you as the partner go like, I think we got this?
The previous World Cup final, quickly compare the two to 2019, the funniest thing, waking up that morning, I've never seen him so calm in my life. Really? And usually when we wake up, I ask him how his program goes for the day. I'm like, what you going to do today? And then he goes, no, I'm quickly going to go have breakfast, and then it's strapping, and then we've got a team meeting, and then bus time and lunch, and I'm going to come for a nap. And he quickly, and the 2019 World Cup final, I did the same thing as I do every day. And like, what you going to do today? Asking for the schedule. And he didn't tell me the schedule. He just went, well, I'm going to win a World Cup today.
Wow, really?
And like, goosebumps. I nearly started crying. I'm just sitting, I'm like, okay, this is cool. And I just remember getting down at the breakfast area. All the girls are like buzzing, and some are crying and buzzing and excited. And all the boys were so calm. It was the calmest feeling I've ever felt in my life, them walking around in Japan 2019. This World Cup 2023 one, complete opposite. Like, I could feel his nerves in him that next morning. Like, it was a complete different feeling. Like, I remember the French game, the quarterfinal, being so stressful. As we arrived to the stadium, the hostile environment, well, that whole week was hostile for us being in France. Never, like Japan, the quarter was a little bit funny. They did funny things. They would switch off their lights before training was done.
Really?
They'd have 2 little vouchers. We struggled to get hotel rooms. They cancelled bookings, like funny little things. The Japanese,
just to edge you a little
bit.
Yeah.
They did funny things.
Irritation.
Where the French were quite hostile, I remember that. That morning, going to the stadium first, they wouldn't let our bus park as close to the stadium as it usually was, the wives' ones, way further. And they know we've got small children. Like, there's prams and kids. So now you have to walk about 2 kilometers to get to the stadium with small kids. I remember having a kulisi in my hand and a mustard in the other hand. The 2 girls that are mostly the same age. Like, you grab a child and you help out. And I've got 2 of them. And I'm kind of walking in the middle because I know I will bulldoze somebody. I'm one of the stronger girls there. I will bulldoze somebody if they touch one of these kids.
Yeah.
And I just remember like French walking up to us and going, go home, which is a bunch of girls and kids.
Wow.
And they could see, obviously, us in our South African gear as a group walking together. And one kid got knocked by a knee in the head from a French guy, and we knew we were in for it. Like, just the girls walking to the stadium were in for it. And that just set the whole trajectory for that entire playoff thing. I guess I wasn't as stressed in that game for some reason. I know it was a 1-point victory. I didn't feel too stressed. I must say the quarterfinal, the entire second half, I didn't watch. I had my head in my lap and I prayed the entire second half. I had friends ripping me by my jersey like, you're missing history. I was like, I'm praying this entire half. I won't look up until the final was. I missed the entire game. I missed Steven's entire performance. I didn't watch any of it. I was praying the whole time and it worked. And we went through. And for some reason in the All Black game, I felt more calm. I watched the entire thing. I was like, now we enjoy it. What happens, happens. We're in the final.
Yeah.
You enjoy this entire game. Try not to stress you out as much, although it was so stressful. try not to stress you out and enjoy it. Whatever happens here will happen. Just be a part of it and enjoy it. And I never cried that much. I've never cried at a rugby game. Never, ever, ever. This one, I sobbed like a baby when that final whistle blown. Like, I just remember my friends came all the way from Qatar. I had 2 amazing friends there with me. Like, we were just grabbing each other and like holding each other and bawling our eyes out.
Yeah. We had Ben Loader in the other day. The episode will be coming out, I think, 2-3 weeks after this. And I had to ask him the question. And I said to him, now that he's experienced both England and South Africa, what's the difference when like game day comes? Is it the same kind of energy of the whole city, the whole country erupts into like, okay, the boys are doing their thing on Saturday? Or is it different? And he said, obviously, there's still massive fans. The pubs are still full. They're still very patriotic about the sport of rugby, but it's nothing like South Africa. He was like, the fact that we have book Fridays, he was like, dude, it's not even the day of the game. And people are already like amped and ready to go the day before. Like, no one works on a Friday. Everyone goes to work, but everyone just talks about the game the next day. No one actually gets anything done. Like, rugby runs the country in a very, very, very big way. So you guys must be feeling...
I think Rassie spoke about it quite often as well, and everyone involved, and Sia mentions it a lot of time, but like, just that bit of hope you create on a Saturday evening, whatever, just makes that guy's week or weekend. Like, he could have gone through the toughest week, could have lost his job, but then he went to go watch the Springbok game and watch it on TV somewhere in a shebeen or in a pub, and that was just like, that bit of joy maybe sets up his next week for either success or for him to be happy or for him to get motivated to literally go out and achieve something in his life. So something small like that, but it's you don't realize it as a rugby player while you're in France playing in a final. Like, you literally just there to do a job, make your partner or your coach or your friend proud of your performance, but you only realize it as soon as that plane lands in South Africa and you see all the people and the kids and the guy who doesn't have a penny behind his name, like, he will be there screaming his lungs out for the Boks, and then you actually only realize what we did this last 2 months has actually been such an amazing thing for our country.
It's changed. I mean, especially recently, you see everything with Drickus as well, and all the movement that's happening within cricket, both male and female, as well as now with female rugby. They're doing so well, and it's really cool to see how the enthusiasm for the Springboks is starting to bleed into all the other sports that we take on as a country. Like, the support for Drickus is massive. When he got up on Saturday, the whole venue was just like, that's the boy. Like, that's our guy. That was incredible to see. And it's after getting to obviously meet Faf for the first time on Saturday. We'd spoken a lot about him over dinner and stuff. You guys keep saying he's such an incredible human. He's such an incredible human. He's such a lekker oak.
He's wonderful. If you do become good friends with him, he's also the person that will give you the most shit of your entire life.
I saw that.
That's what he does with me. I'm his favorite target.
You could, and I could see him like plotting.
So he's trying to think of stuff to tell Aimee.
There you go. And he's so sharp that Aimee would be like pouring a drink. He'll be watching the fights, and I'm watching him watch Aimee, and he's seeing what she's doing, and you'll pick up like the cranberry juice, and he's got something to say to it, and I'm just like watching him just chirp so quickly
and plodding away.
Yes, he's
like a little Jack Russell.
Literally, such a solid oak. I told Jess as soon as we got home, there were a lot of people there on Saturday, and obviously a lot of people that want to come say hi to you guys and want to take photos and shake hands and greet and show respect, which is awesome. And so I'm sitting on that little baby chair just off the deck with my knees at my ears, and I'm watching everyone interact over above me, and a gentleman comes through, super Lani dude, comes through, really nice guy, and he has like a little group of women like following him, right? But a lot younger than what he is. And so Faf gets up to greet and, introduces me and tells me who he is and whatever, and the girls are following with, and cool. and the one girl makes a comment towards Faf, but like it wasn't a comment that was derogatory directly, but it was a comment that was like sort of a stupid thing to say, you know, like, which obviously, you know, Faf's just going with the flow of it. Yeah, nice to meet you kind of thing. And I phase out of what I can hear because there's all the boxing going on, and I can just see, I can just see talking. And Faf says something, she replies out of like shock, and I see Faf's face change, and he goes, no, you look great, don't worry about it. And she takes this moment to do the like, oh, thank you so much kind of thing, turns and leaves, but the whole conversation is Faf smiling, going like, no, don't worry, you look great, no, cool. And she turns and leaves, and the smile stays, and he looks at me and just goes, fuck. And I was like, you're dealing with a lot, eh? And he goes, dude, yes, dude. Picks up his drink, just chills and just keeps chatting. And I was like, this poor guy's just trying to navigate every conversation so that the person leaves going, what a great guy, you know? And there wasn't a single person there that could ever say a bad word. To the point that last night I went in to train legs with a friend of mine, Kanan, the British friend of mine, used to play very, very, very high level rugby. And so we're training last night, and I said to him, no, Faf, I said to him, we got to meet Faf. I'm so stoked that I got to meet Faf. So he goes, oh, really? He goes, I have to ask you, you know that he's the player that like gets under guys' skin and he likes to upset the other guys, and now obviously Kanan's British, right? So England. And he's now as South African as he is British, but he has to ask the question. He goes, hey, he gets under people's skin. He likes to irritate people quite a bit. So I imagine he can be, you know, is he a bit of a durs? And I go, no, dude, literally the nicest, sweetest human. And Kanan goes, shut! Damn it! And I go, no, why you say that? He goes, I was hoping he was a bad guy. I was trying to find something not to like about him. I was like, dude, it's not possible. It's impossible.
It's not possible, no. And between him and his wife as well, his wife has got no filter, Monet, which is wonderful. You see what you get, what you see, completely is who she is, unapologetically herself. Wonderful, wonderful person. Like, I'm obsessed with her. Yeah, she's one of my best friends.
Very cool.
Yeah,
she's very, very cool.
Such a
that
sweetie.
was so welcoming to Jess as well. All the girls huddled together with Peony as well, and it was such a lekker setup to get to see.
No, it was such a fun table.
Yeah, we have to do that again. That was a lekker job.
Bigger and better next time. We're doing it again.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Another fight night. Yeah. Jeez, shout out to Madfit and to Matt for making that happen. That was a next level event.
Unreal.
To see all the people.
It was huge. Blown away by it. Like we were expecting 600 to 700 people maybe, and I think
probably north of 800.
Yeah, I think it was like 1,000 up. I think it was insane. Mind blown by it, and it was brilliant. It was everything and more. Like the fighting, the
even the
atmosphere
fighting
was
for like a guy who like recently actually. Only in the last couple of years really got into boxing and started watching it more regularly. It's the quality of fights there was throughout the night was insane. Like watching guys like Boyd and Dill and SD, those oaks were banging each other, and as a
phenomenal
for a Cape Town event, you feel these oaks needs to be on the world stage.
Yeah. It was top level performance.
Yeah,
like
so it was
SD's fight with that knockout was like. Everyone's celebrating for 10 minutes and then we realized that the dude hasn't got up yet, and everyone was kind of like, oxygen tank in the ring, and we're like, oh shit, this is very real.
Yeah.
It's very real. It's not people pretending to fight.
No.
There's actually getting hurt in that ring.
Yeah.
Which, shout out to them as well. They're phenomenal fighters. To see Drickus show support back to the fighters as well was such a lekker setup.
Yeah.
To see him supporting the sport as well was extremely encouraging. But to see the guys walk in as well in the Bomb Squad t-shirts was so sick.
I was so excited about that. Yeah, Maddie and Dylan and all those boys that represented Bomb Squad for us. Like, I love this where we're going now with all our friends doing this all together and helping each other grow and working together. So no, that was mind-blowing to me. I loved it.
Yeah. We can say this on the episode that you guys recently made an announcement about Bomb Squad. That you are now distributing
In the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can't say that.
No,
eh?
we can talk
Okay,
about
thank
that.
you for filling that in.
Yeah, no,
So let's go into that because
Yeah, we've since day one, like we've known there's like 200,000 South Africans just living in the greater London area. So it was something in the back of our heads at all times. So we were discussing and planning and plotting of ways to get the beer that side. So it all started with like a guy in the UK ordered a pallet of beer, a big South African rugby supporter, and he started distributing it among his friends. And that's how it all started. So the beer got available in the UK. People started taking photos. It became a bit more alive, the brand itself. And then recently we signed a partnership with a guy called Scott, and used to work hand in hand with Wolfpack, which is Alice Hargreaves, so South African beer, but also they've got their own brand that side. Signed a nice partnership with them and started brewing in the UK. And yeah, I think from this week onwards, it's becoming more regularly available.
what? That's so
Um,
sick.
Yeah, so there's nice thing is there's some weight behind the brand at the moment. There's interest from investor side, which is amazing. So yeah, we got this opportunity, we took it, and yeah, from here we just need to keep building.
And it's just in time for the Springboks to go play
World
there
Series, yeah.
for November. Yeah.
We doing the hard launch the 14th of November at so I'm not sure what the place's name is, but it's just outside Twickenham.
Okay.
Yeah, so go on the UK website and go buy your tickets.
Yeah, there we go. It's gonna be sick. Yeah.
Yeah, there's going to be a proper bomb squad launch party on the 14th of November. So we're very excited for it to be in London.
In
Are you
London.
guys
In London.
going for it?
Stephen
there.
will be there.
Hey.
Stephen will go represent. Yeah. Yeah, I've traveled enough this year. I'm gonna stick at home and have some summer weather. Post Ireland. I need all the sun I can get. I still feel pasty.
I haven't touched the sun yet. Like,
But it's been a cold winter. It felt, I think I brought back the Belfast weather with me. I'm so sorry.
that's fine. That's fine.
It's
As long
summer,
as
got
you
stuck to the
guys
plane.
just are here,
Back.
happy. Bring
We're
whatever
back.
weather you want.
Yeah.
Fuck, I'm so happy you guys are back.
Oh.
Okay, sick. So you're here and there. Being involved in boxing and rugby and growing the brand in that way. I mean, we attended the event at the Winchester. That was phenomenal. Obviously, we did the Beer Olympics, which was
The best.
so sick. And there's big things we want to do with that next year as well. And now we've got the event as well, the TENS event on the 1st and 2nd of November in partnership with Buub, which is such a sick brand to do work with. We actually have the table here that's for the giveaway that's been signed by Rassie that Stephen's going to sign alongside as well. That we'll get into that right at the end and then clip it for the intro. But you guys are involved in everything: drinking culture, South African culture, sports culture. Looking forward, sometimes this can be a bit of a horrible question to ask, but what more would you like to do? Is there do you have like a list of things in mind that you're like, oh, if we could get the beer in there, that would be huge? And do you want to mention, or is it something that you not yet want to talk about what could potentially be coming?
Not too much. It's like sport in South Africa is massive, and it's not to create a drinking culture, but it's to back
A winning culture.
A winning culture. So it's the rugby, it's the boxing, and I feel boxing is such an up and coming thing in Cape Town at the moment. You can just see it by this weekend's event at Fight Island. So it's for us to back ourselves with as Aimee also said, the winning mindset, the culture, the people getting together, enjoying a cold beer together, benching your thirst in a
There we go. Yeah.
But no, it's for us. It's also our friends. So we love backing our friends. We love backing the projects our friends get into. Same with like the Beer Olympics. Like we backing. It's not that we're backing the Beer Olympics. We're backing Josh Eadie.
Yeah.
We're backing Matthew Leishing. Like that's
that.
our mindset when it comes to backing certain brands and working with certain brands. So yeah, for us it's just keep growing, get our brand out there, create a bit of positive vibe around it, and yeah, you never know what the future holds when it comes to new developments, new partnerships. So for us, it's just staying relevant, staying involved, and just keep working on what makes us happy.
Yeah, but I must say we've reached quite a few goals. Like we're so proud and thankful to SAB.
Yeah.
Who's been, you know, they're the powerhouse in this country, and they have been so kind and gracious, like with us. I'd almost say mentoring us a little bit as well. The big dogs over there. We were allowed to be selling in all the stadiums as the only non-SAB product. Can you believe it?
Well done. Yeah.
They've been kind and gracious, and you know, we're a small local brand, and the backing we've got from these big boys in supporting us and allowing us to take part in these events, because they can just do everything themselves. And I must say, them backing the boys, I think we're so lucky in the sense that Stephen and Malcolm have worked so hard to come get where they are. And that now people are backing them even more off the rugby field to help them create a legacy. And I think that's what I wanted with this brand, is to create a beautiful legacy for Malcolm and Stephen long beyond their rugby years. And people to just remember that winning feeling, and with your friends, like that's the biggest thing about the Springboks, and especially with this last World Cup. And I think the main reason how we pulled it through this World Cup was because it was such a family environment. Yeah. The second one around, like that's the first one was fiery, and everybody was still getting to know each other. I did not know Monet really before the 2019 World Cup. There she became one of my best friends, and we've all now created this big family. I promise you, it's a family environment. Like, I will babysit any one of these one's kids. Like, I'm Auntie Aimee to them.
There we go.
Where's Uncle Kitsy? I had the funniest call with Jasper Visa's wife the other day. She's got a little ginger daughter, and as she got off the bus, they go, "Is that Kitsy's kid?" And I said, "No, Uncle Kitsy's not my dad, but it is my uncle."
That's close. Yeah, close.
You know, so it's a big family thing, which I'm so proud of, to go forward with this whole family environment. Like, we back each other, and I'm hoping that when people buy into Bomb Squad, that's the feeling that you get. You're buying into the family. Like, we're supporting each other. When my friends come up to us and how can Bomb Squad support us, whether it's sending beers towards Cheddar and Colby's birthday, or backing Maddie at a boxing event, or doing beer pong with you. Like, it's just that, hopefully, family celebrating together vibe that we're going for.
You can feel it at a place like Boma. Shout out Boma again. I love that place. But you can feel it at Boma when, like, you're standing at the bar and you order a Bomb Squad. If there's another guy next to you, there's always the head turn of like, who's ordering, you know, like a Bomb Squad. Clearly, you know your shit. You know, like, and it's like, yeah, I'm gonna have one. The barman as well. Like, I'll walk in and get to the front, and they go, Bomb Squad. I'm like, yeah, don't give me anything else. Yeah, it's literally just Bomb Squad. Like, they learn the orders off of, like, that's definitely a Bomb Squad guy, which is so cool to see that everyone's in on it. So again, well done. I'm so excited for the event. On the 1st and 2nd, that's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be so much fun to see all the guys playing beer pong. It'll be with the Buub Babes as well, with Nikki and Carly. So
have you met them yet?
I haven't. They actually in, not tomorrow, they're in the next day.
They are so lovely. Yeah. I spoke to Nikki on the weekend quickly at the DHL Stormers versus Munster game, which is the Stormers Club Munster.
Jeez, that was a great game of rugby.
Wow! I'm so excited. We had dinner with Faf the night before at his hotel, and there were Munster fans in there, and they were saying some stuff, and I'm so excited that the boys pulled through for us, because there was some instant karma right there.
Here we go.
And I'm so proud of them. I am so proud of it. I think I drank extra free drinks just on them on Saturday night, and wow, so excited for that.
Nell's try.
Bonus point try.
Jeez, that one-handed catch. I was like, no, man, these Oaks are playing next level rugby, eh?
Phenomenal.
To see Willemse back as well was so sick to have him back there.
Yeah, MVP performance.
Oh, what a G.
Yeah,
what a G.
Happy for him.
But she's quite nervous coming on.
Shame.
I haven't spoken to Carly yet, but I know Nikki is nervous coming on. but I'm so excited for you to get to know them.
can't wait.
They are the two most precious people.
Really?
Raised by obviously two rock stars, which is Rassie and Nikki and their mom. I just remember her from the 2019 World Cup as well.
Really?
Total rock star.
Gangster.
Love her. She's amazing. So I'm very, very, very excited for you to get to know the twins a bit more. There's such a vibe.
The first connection that I ever made to the twins, not intentionally, but obviously through Adre. And
Yes.
he is one of my favorite people,
Yes,
purely just because anytime I message or voice note him, Afrikaans. Every time. Because he knows I'm going to be sitting there listening, going like, what does that even mean?
Yeah.
You know, like...
You actually have to go as far as putting your earpods in just to try
Just to be like, okay, try again. Yeah. I can't listen to his voice notes at like 1.5 or 2
No.
times speed. It's got to go at normal pace. And I have to pay attention to
You have to
every...
rewind a little bit and
There we
maybe
go.
pause, just think about it.
Yeah, what was that word? Tappen van vergelijken.
Kappa vergelijken.
Yeah. So that's been a challenge and a half. And he does a lot of the hunting trips, and he's always like, you got to come on a hunting trip, because there's one other English guy that does the hunting trips with them. I can't recall who is, but one other English dude. And they've all been hunting multiple times, and I've never been hunting in my life. I've never shot an animal before. And so he's like, hey, you know, come us and shoot an animal. And then you got to do the like,
Initiation.
all the initiations.
Biting the nutbag and the eating the liver, blood everywhere.
the blood on the face, and so I'm super excited for it, because the story I'm going to have after that's going to be phenomenal. But I'm going to get smacked around a little bit, just like Fight Island, laddie fart smelling cigarette, and everyone's like, nah, it's Josh. And there's like high rollers at this table, and everyone's like, the kid down there, the oak just keeps farting, and I can't hear anyone, so I'm like,
Yeah, I would have another water, please. Thank you.
one more water, please. Yeah, sparkling for the bubbles. Yeah.
I want the tingly feeling.
Yeah, exactly. That it tingled. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Speaking on initiation, first time we ever met was the Stormers URC celebration. I don't think I've ever told the story of being initiated. I wasn't technically initiated.
No.
Okay, it wasn't a full proper initiation, but yes, I was being put through the
Ringer.
put through the ringer that night.
And you had
so-
some serious anxiety that day.
Oh, I was stressing, eh? So I really wanted to get to see Steven again, especially after winning. Because we'd met at filming the video for Ryan when we were all
Yes.
violently hungover.
You were trying to get him on your podcast.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were violently hungover. We'd come from Fellies at 4 a.m. to start shooting at like 7 a.m. So hungover. And I was proper struggling through these workouts for camera, and then you came in and you were like, dude, I'm so hungover. And I was like, oh, thank the Lord, we're all on the same page. So we had to train through.
I remember that studio was like a hot box, like the sun was cooking in through the
giant
window.
glass room.
Yeah,
Yes, I was hurting that day, but
it was from probably my 45 minutes of the toughest moments of my life.
yeah, there you go. Yeah, you were like, "Oh, substitute me for this. Yeah, like
I was like, I've done the movement like twice. Can't you just like also replay it? Loop it, just loop
copy
it.
paste it.
Yeah.
Yeah, make it look like I did 100. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So that was how we met, which was such a lekker way to meet. And then I was actually busy working at a friend, and I think I DM'd you because you guys were going to do the bus trip through Cape Town for the Stormers.
Yeah.
And I was like, please let me know where you guys go. I'd love to just see Steven again, shake hands, and say, please come on the show. And you were like, no, don't worry, come through to the celebration.
Yeah.
I pulled through, and you hadn't arrived yet. And you were my point of reference.
Yeah.
Mama Aimee was my point of reference. And I get to the front, and they stop me at the front. They're like, listen, why are you here? So I said, no, I'm here to see Aimee. And immediately they're like, oh, please come in. So I get there, and I can't find you. And it's just rugby dudes. So I get to the bar, and I order a draft and a double Jack Daniels at the same time. And I'm such a fucking loser. But I stood in the corner with my 2 drinks, and I was just like, sip, 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 sip. And I'm just waiting till that liquid courage kicks in, you know, to send the first BBM message, to go to someone and be like, hey, I'm Josh. Nice to meet you, I guess. And it was your team at your table that had, you know, we clocked each other, and you actually came over. And you were like, hey, you Josh from the show, whatever, and we got chatting. And I've never been more terrified in my entire life. I'd messaged my dad and been like, hey, I'm gonna, you know, see Steven again and the boys are going to be celebrating. And my dad literally just messaged me being like, good luck, like trying to keep up. And I was like, oh, I'll be fine. And then we got like 2 hours in and I was like, this is the most difficult thing I've ever tried to do. To try like maintain my composure and keep up with rugby players that are celebrating this incredible win.
And we had a few hours on you.
Yeah.
We've been
And we're
going the
still
whole time, yeah.
So much
since the
more
win.
sober than I was, yeah. And we had do you remember squatting me?
I do not remember this, but that is one of my party tricks.
Man, because we were in the quad and there were all the rugby dudes and Steven goes, nah, Amy's so strong in the squat, she can squat, Josh, come here. And I'm like, no, please no, please no, please no. And he's like, Aimee, pick him up. Show him. I'm like, Aimee, please don't pick me up. Aimee, please don't pick me up. This is in front of all the rugby guys. I'm going to look like I'm light. The one thing I think I have is that I'm heavy, I think. Aimee just goes straight off my feet. I'm just there, like, and just moving up and down. And Amy's just like, this is so easy. And I'm like, pretend to struggle. Make me look heavy. So that was...
That's one of our party tricks. I get to... Yeah. After his foot, we found out he had a big foot injury in 2014. We figured out like his crutches couldn't hold him. So somebody else had to. So we figured out I could carry him around on my back. So ever since then, it's become a little bit of a party trick. Like, see if I can still squat.
And
maybe.
you are ridiculously strong. Like, you were squatting me like, I'm like, at the time, I think I was like 118 kilos.
That's lightweight.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
That was when I was carrying you around, you were like 130. Yeah.
yes, like, see, power. There you go.
lightweight.
Yeah, Mama Aimee, exactly. Yeah, that was the first time I tried
Oh my gosh.
Serbian snus.
Oh, shoot.
Yes.
Not a great idea.
You know,
Those are usually your clever ideas.
well, we were on our way to village.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I've made it out the first venue. And I'm like kind of okay. Like I can put one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
I definitely can't like try hold a meaningful conversation at this point. But like I can laugh and like, you know, I can do one of those. It's like walking, we get like halfway to village. Steven comes, puts his arm around me. He's like, I'm proud of you so far. And I'm like, I'm killing it. Keeping up. And he takes out the Serbian snus. And at that time, I'd never done zids or anything like that before. He's like, no, you got to rock one of these. And I was like, no, I'm fine. And Steven goes, no, please, take
Try
one.
it.
And I was like, no, I'm okay, thanks. And he just like doesn't answer. And I was like, I mean, I'll take the whole thing if you really want me to at this point. I'll eat it. I will chew it if you want me to. Put one in. And I think I got like 10 meters down the road. And suddenly like the road was warping and I'm walking funny. And I'm like, no, man, did all the booze hit me at the same time? So I asked him, I'm like, dude, I am so lightheaded. And he's like, yeah, no, they do that. I was like, I don't want this in my mouth then. Like,
Just to clear it up for the people watching, this is not some hallucinating drug. It's just a
tobacco.
That's all it is. Yes, like
it rocked my world to the point that we got to village and I'm sitting on the couch at village with my beer. It's not even in my mouth. It was only like an hour ago. And I'm sitting there like, yeah, says, pull yourself together, Josh, man. Why are you so flipping lightheaded? Like, tingly everywhere. No, you guys are, the strength you guys have with everything is just phenomenal. You guys throw the most amazing jawls and get-togethers and parties and like...
We love a good,
We love
a good celebration.
Just to create good stories.
Yeah,
that's the thing.
100%.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. We're a social bunch.
Yeah.
No, it's the
Social
best. Ah,
leaders there at our team. It's one thing you get with the two of us.
That's
is
incredible.
we try and have a good time together. Yeah. Which has made our team so successful. We
you
all
go.
celebrate together. Yeah.
2 World Cups, do not disagree.
Yeah. And a U2 URC finals neither.
And a Lions tour. I always forget about the Lions tour. We mustn't forget about the Lions
No,
tour.
that's
Yeah.
You guys technically conquered the entire Northern Hemisphere. They were just like, yeah, I still think that's very, very, very unfair. I'm just saying.
100%. Yeah. COVID put a damp on that one. That one should have been bigger.
It should have
Shame he should have played his 50th cap in front of his friends there. You played your 50th Bok cap in front of an
stadium, yeah.
entire empty stadium.
Well, the whole country was still watching.
Exactly.
And we won. So,
Yeah.
yeah. But lekker, guys.
Lekker, man.
Thank you for coming in. Our first little couples chat. Soon we have to do the rugby ladies.
Yes, so we have to get in some fun girlies in here. I'd love to see Saskia Snyman, RG's wife,
we
in front
go.
of a camera. Maybe a little bit of Hope and JC. Monet would be an absolute scream to have,
So much fun to have on.
since she has no filter whatsoever. So it would be
gonna be
so
so
much
much
fun.
fun.
Yeah,
So much fun.
we
I'm
have to
looking
do
forward
that.
to it.
We'll
Set it
we'll
up.
get set that up.
We'll do it.
Huh? And you need to get Fafi in here. I'd love to see a little bit more of
I'm gonna have to
Faf's
be
funny side.
I'm gonna have to be so on point to keep up with Faf in a con. People will
Yeah.
see in the chat.
Yeah, how
'cause
sharp.
Faf was asking as well. He was like, "Okay, so we come on, we do the episode. What's the vibe? What's the da-da-da?" And the more I'm explaining to him that, like, dude, you can say and do whatever, the more you can see the little, twinkle in his eyes start going. And I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to keep up with him with chirps the whole chat. So it's gonna be a lekker challenge. But a great conversation as well, nonetheless. So, yeah, thank you guys so much for being here.
Thanks for
Thanks for
having
having
us. And yeah, we're so excited to do tens with you.
Yeah, be there for that. I'll put all the details below. It's on the 1st and 2nd of November. There will be giveaways. There will be a whole lot of stuff happening. It's an entire beer pong tournament happening at the Tens. And then I think potentially, fingers crossed, repeating then for the February Tens, which is going to be something crazy phenomenal as well as with the Beer Olympics. We'll announce information into that soon as to how many of those events and what dates and what time throughout next year we'll be throwing the Beer Olympics. Someone needs to knock Evan Ruiz and JJ Kotze off their pedestal in terms of being the Beer Olympic champions, and Stephen and Malcolm are probably going to be the ones to do that. I'm not even going to doubt that one. So thank you guys so much for watching. This is a huge shout out to Buub, a huge shout out to Bomb Squad, as always the most phenomenal beer available in South Africa now, as well as the UK, and shout out to the most amazing South African couple. We love you guys so much, so thank you so much for being here.
Love you too.
you.
Okay.
Lekker.